Okay, so I went through my paper pad to see what I would go ahead and fussy cut, and I already started, and I already pulled out the stuff from Lucky Charm that I'm gonna do. So I did a page of the envelopes, that scrap of the tickets, and then a mason jar 8.5 by 11. So I've now converted this, instead of it holding die cuts or stuff that I've already fussy cut, this is gonna hold the stuff that I'm gonna take downstairs. It's small and compact. I can take my scissors in it, and I can even bring down, I mean, it's not gonna be compact, but at least I know I can empty this out into my trash can here, empty it out, and this can come with me, and it can also come back upstairs because we only have one TV. I can bring it back upstairs and just place it here on my desk for at the end of the night, and I know that I would have started on cutting die cuts that I can put into this notebook. So I went from, let's just say 24 pages to 17 pages, because all of these that are left over in this Fifth and Frolic paper pad are all papers that I think I'm going to use and scrapbook with. It might not be the whole page, but I can cut it up and I can use it in these with this paper pad. The rest are gonna, these are scraps, and then the rest of these I'm going to fussy cut. I figured that I can cut 13, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 13 either large or small embellishments. Some are going to be on the sides, which I really don't care because I can tuck those in. But I do have at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 big flowers that I can hide or use together, and that's, to me, 10 of these would well be worth it to fussy cut. These are journaling cards and cut apart pages that I can also use, and I'm not worried about those. I can put the bigger pieces or the 3x4s into scraps if I decide not to cut the smaller areas. And same with this one. These are smaller ones, so they vary in size, so that's great. This looks like a 6x6 in itself, and these are 4x6. I can cut this into a ticket, and then that would be like a subtitle. These are all little Polaroids, and I'm going to cut them up so that I can use them as ephemera or layering pieces. And then this in and of itself, I'm going to cut like this, and then I'll decide whether I want to use it as a banner later. Same with this. This won't be double-sided, but at least it'll be cards that I can tuck in, and I can use all these different numbers for separate things, whether it be the month, how many there are of us in total in the picture, or, you know, even the date. I mean, I have at least up to 15 days that I can use randomly. And so yeah, these are all gonna become embellishments, and I don't mind doing that. And then not only that, I will have them in a binder, or possibly some in a binder, because I have some separated out here already that I'm gonna put in this notebook in this section, and also in my sticker binder on that side once they run through the Xyron sticker maker. That's where they'll be going. So I've already have my work cut out for me, especially with these two paper pads in and of themselves. One thing that I have noticed is that I can always stamp, especially, I'm not a stamper, I'm not really a card maker per se, but I do love collecting stamps, and one of those obsessions is roller stamps. And these, unless I'm looking for something in specific, or if I actually pull one of these out, I'm going to stamp some in various colors, maybe different strips. Rowan, leave that alone, please. That is not a toy, sir. Go put it back where it was. Thank you. What do you say, sir? What do you say, sir?
Pooping.
No, not pooping. Anyway. Oh my goodness. I can stamp them in gray, in brown, in dark blue, neutral, or this, if I have a color like this, whether it'll show up or not on lighter colors or darker colors, then I can what I'm trying to say is that I can stamp them and they can be their own little individual words, and I would have felt better about stamping them knowing that I can tuck them into something like this and I can use it as ephemera. So now I have a different use for these, and I'd be able to better I'd be able to take advantage of even this just 6 by ½ inch strip. And not only that, I'd be using my other tools effectively, and they would come in handy if I want to use them as layering pieces, or, you know, they say different things, but even in the stamp sets you have words, and I have Heidi Swapp words and all kinds. So these would even become beneficial if I actually put them towards a specific use, like those words. Sometimes, like I said, they have a word in and of itself, and then even these multicolored strips, I like the size of them because sometimes you need a little ampersand, or I can stamp a smiley face. I have some of those, or tiny hearts. It doesn't just have to be words, it can be smaller icons also. So that's what I've decided to do with those. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to cut, just like these, I'm going to cut them into sections, or kind of haphazardly cut them down so that they can fit in here, and when I get downstairs I'll be able to fussy cut them. Or like these, since they're journaling cards, I'll be able to do that, or just some that are easier to cut, I'm gonna cut through. These will be easy. I'll probably cut this like in large sections and just try and fit it in here, or just try and cut it in large sections, put it in an 8.5 by 11, and then call it a day until I'm ready to come and fussy cut all of this out. But with that being said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these sheets are instantly used, and they're gonna have another purpose and not just be sitting in the paper pad itself waiting to be scrapbooked. Everybody uses ephemera. I use a ton of it, and they have a multitude of uses. You can use them on cards, you can use them on layouts, banners, whatever. I like to do all that. And yeah, for things like this, it's easier for me to use it, and it's using up my paper pads in a way that I would feel accomplished by. It wouldn't just be sitting there anymore. So that's my next step. And this is gonna be ready to fussy cut at night while I'm watching TV or something with my husband, because usually watch 1 or 2 shows before we go to bed. And yeah, I'm gonna get started, and then I'll show you in the end. Okay, so it's a little past lunchtime. We're having a late lunch today, but my son is already like, Mom, it's time for lunch. So we need to go get some food. And then I'll probably start with my day stuff, like my house stuff that I need to do. I prefer to play, and then it gives me incentive to do other stuff like housework. Who wants to have the work first before the fun? Not me. So I work a little bit backwards, but it helps me try to stay along with things. Sometimes I do it the other way, the normal way, and do the work before the play, but this is what I did today. So I'm going through my paper pads now from each line so that I can see what I can cut down as ephemera, and what I can, or what is gonna stay as a whole sheet. So here I'm gonna go through the paper pad. I can feel a bulk, so I know I have, pieces cut up already. So I'm just gonna go through it and see what I have. Like here I have some squares. These are all probably gonna go in my book. And these, I'm not sure if I'm gonna stick them in my Project Life cards, because they're that size, 3 by 4, or if I should just keep them with it and then make some tags, or cut pieces out, or just stick them in that notebook just the same, because all this is just adding bulk. If I can decide to put them in my, I'm saying if I could decide and put them in my Project Life or not, I'm not gonna do that because those sit in there, so I won't go through them. So I'm either gonna cut them out or just stick them like this on the book. Scrap pieces of paper, that looks like a 3 by 4, so I'm just gonna treat it as such. Other scrap pieces, this I'm gonna cut out into ephemera for me. And then like this stuff can also be, I can probably cut this out as ephemera and then maybe even make a 3x4 card. So if I treat that like this, and it'll even have some hearts, and so I'm not worried that I won't have full use of this. I'll still have some room for journaling, and then I can also use this as an ephemera because I won't probably see myself using it complete like this, or whole, not complete but whole. So others that are more like that, I can cut this out, fussy cut it, and use it as a bike. I'm not sure, maybe a tag. Also a tag. That would be easier for me to use. And not only that, all the extra wood grain, I love wood grain. I can stamp words on it and make them stickers or tabs, or cut out hearts and other generic type of shapes. So that's what I might end up doing. This is all scrap pieces of paper. Here is this one again. I might have put this in the wrong paper pad. So either way, this is still scrap paper. And I might have just stuck it all in here because I did a page. That's probably what happened, is I did a page with all these papers. I can cut out these cameras. I could probably do that. I'll probably do that. And I'm gonna put this at the front, and I'm gonna keep these together because they're already cut apart. And I'm just gonna go through my paper pad and see what I can cut out. I'd like to take these because I feel like they end up making bulk in the book also, in the paper pad. So I'm gonna see what I can do with all this. And then I can also, what I was going to say is I'm going to look through the paper pad to see what I can use as a cut apart sheet or ephemera, or if I'm just gonna leave them whole until I go through this paper pad again to make page kits. And if I don't end up pulling anything out of it, that's fine with me. I don't have a problem with that. Oh, I'm tearing paper. Well, it's that tab, so that's fine, but I didn't want to. This paper pad's coming apart now, so they're that old. They're probably in need to be used, but as far as they're just sitting here, so I feel pretty good about being able to do this, and I don't feel one bit bad about taking it apart and seeing what I can cut into ephemera. So this looks like it's gonna stay like this for the most part, but I've even seen washi tapes like this from Simple Stories, and they use just a little strip. They come in little 3x4 packs, so you can do the same, and then just use them as pieces to tuck into your layers. This is another scrap piece of paper. So this is a lot of backgrounds. Such a fun floral. And we're coming to the end of it. And I might not use all these strips. You see me pulling out all these strips, but they're accumulating. That might frustrate me, and I might just end up dumping them. If I can figure out how to make a label or a flag out of something, then I'll do that. But if not, and I can't really stamp over it, then I'm just gonna get rid of it, and I have no problem doing that. Okay, so this one didn't have any. I'm gonna pull another paper pad. Let's see, I already cut down my Ziploc bags on these so that I didn't have all that bulk too. So this is gonna go back. So here's another one. This is documentary, and I'm just gonna put this on top of the biggest piece of paper that I have, and it's just gonna go all like this. And I'm just stacking it to the side, and then I'll cut it down or put it into the box where it's gonna go past the box. It'll go into the notebook or the binder, whatever. So right now I'm just going through all. I could probably cut this up, but I don't scrapbook by month most of the time, even though this does look like something cute. I'll think about that. I could cut these circles out. I'm probably not going to right now. I feel, and this is what instinctively just, it says it to me, I probably wouldn't use these like this, and I would probably more likely cut the circles out. And honestly, I feel like that's what I would do. I would probably even cut some with a circle scallop and then some circles alone, so that I'd have a different variety. And I would have embellishments, because I don't have any embellishments for this documentary one. So I'm automatically gonna take these two now, because that's what my gut is telling me. Like, you really wouldn't use that, Daisy, not that pattern. Not like that. So this is pretty. I would use it like that. This is an easy background page. Also, this is pretty busy, but I wouldn't cut it up right now. Who doesn't love a wood grain? I don't know that I would fussy cut these yet. Same for this. I probably wouldn't use this, but I could use it as a layering piece. Smaller florals, smaller florals. I don't like bubbles, so I wouldn't cut this up. Oh, these are cute to cut out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That has 17 typewriters. If I have leftovers, I can use them. I probably wouldn't. Maybe I would, but I could cut this up. I like that I'm doing this. I like this idea of going through the paper and seeing what I can use as embellishments to add to my notebooks or to add to my binder. And there in and of itself, in this page, since I don't have 24 pages anymore, from that I've taken 3 that I know I can use as ephemera. And that can be a starting, that can also be, once I cut it up, I know, oh, I'm cutting these up for the documentary. I can probably make a story, or, you know, use it as, what do you call it? Inspiration. So I'm just writing really, really sloppy. But it says the name of the paper pad, so I don't confuse it with the other stuff. Since I know I'm cutting it up and I'm putting it as I go, I'll be going along like that. I hope that made sense. But I'm gonna put this one up, and I'm gonna keep going. And I do this because I don't buy whole collections. If I find stuff at Tuesday morning, most of the times it doesn't tell you what line it comes from anyway. If you buy thickers, or if you buy the word or shape thickers that come with a collection, it doesn't tell you it comes from the same one, only that it comes from the same designer. Like, it'll only say Dear Lizzie. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. But this way I know that I can make my own ephemera and I can use them to embellish stuff. As far as these speech bubbles go, maybe I'll go back and cut it up and just hole punch where different shapes and stuff from it, because I don't like that paper and I already know I probably won't use it like that. But for now, this is what I want to do. So next is this happy place, and I'm just going to be doing the same thing with this one.